A so-called Christian, so-called pro-family conservative, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, appointed a guy who had sex with a 17-year-old to an important role in the state of Arkansas. Yeah, but that's the story. LGBTQ Nation reports she claims LGBTQ plus rights need to be restricted to protect kids, but she appointed a man who admitted to having sex with a minor to a high-level position. This is about Jamol Jones. Sanders appointed Jamol as chairman to the Arkansas Post-Prison Transfer Board in January. He resigned last Friday after news agencies reported that the Benton Police Department fired him after he admitted to an internal affairs investigation that he had sexual relations as an adult with a 17-year-old girl. He was placed on administrative leave until further notice because he had a sexual relationship with a teen. It apparently was oral sex. Jones said he and the girl talked at the gym. She identified herself as an 18-year-old before a parking lot sexual liaison. He denied knowing her actual age, but the investigation found that there was indication he knew she was 17 and continued the relationship, telling her it couldn't be found out. I do think it's important to mention the age of consent in Arkansas is 16. So technically, this is not a crime. But apparently it conflicts with some of the pro-family values that Sarah Huckabee Sanders claims to espouse. So, this is what is so sick about these people. Number one, as long as they confess their sins and they are men of God, all is forgiven. That's number one. But what I care more about are the issues that Sarah Huckabee Sanders is bringing forward, claiming to have the moral majority, claiming to have the ethical high ground. This includes, we need to get rid of the books from schools to protect our kids. Very dangerous to a 17-year-old high school student to see a certain book in the library. But meanwhile, I'm going to hire a guy who had sex with a 17-year-old. What? Who is it that needs to be protected here? Trying to roll back protections, as Sanders did, for child labor, the abortion extremism, education and how we need to protect this, that, the other thing. We need to ban masks in schools and we need to ban non-existent vaccine mandates for the kids. We've got to protect those kids. And then now this. Where do we go from here when it comes to these hypocrites? I've said it before. It would be great to fix these disastrous red states. It really would be a good thing. These states are filled with good people who are being victimized by the priorities of administrations like those of Sarah Huckabee Sanders. And we don't want to abandon them. And also when people call me and they'd say, David, I live in Arkansas. I remember a caller. I have a trans child. I don't know what to do. Do I leave? It feels wrong to cut and run. How am I going to tell people who are simply trying to do what's best for their families? No, you must stay and fix it from the inside. A lot of people don't have the resources to leave. But if you do, and you've made the determination that it's a disaster in your state because of people like Sarah Huckabee Sanders, how am I going to say you're doing something wrong by leaving? Obviously, everybody can't leave. Obviously, that's not a solution at scale. But people have to do what they can do to protect their families. And it would make sense to me to try to escape the absurd governorship of Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who, by the way, is a name that keeps floating around in the ether as either a possible Trump VP or maybe even a high-ranking member of a potential Trump administration. So let's think of that when we vote in November. And let's remember that there are no greater hypocrites than exactly these people. To their credit, at least the guy, Jamol Jones, had to resign. Would have been nice to vet him initially, but at least he resigned. We'll take a very quick break and be right back.